Hey guys, Craig here, Product Manager at Broker Engine. Wanted to run you through how we manage progress payments and construction deals inside of my practice. Inside of my practice, we would use Broker Engine. And what would happen is when a deal settles, we would automatically, via workflow, move that onto the construction board. And here you can see my construction board. We have 8 stages from letter of commencement, all the payments through, and then the final completion stage when the client gets the keys and moves in or rents the property out. And so that's sort of the 8 stages we have on our dashboard. And when a client deal moves into, for example, stage 1, letter of commencement, there is a workflow that triggers. And the workflow is a pretty simple one. You might want to build this into your practice. It firstly creates a task for the team or yourself as a broker to effectively upload the portal with the items you need for the letter of commencement. So the task would say along the lines of upload the client portal, mark it complete, you're going to get an email. So it creates a task for you to sort of, you or the team, to update the client portal with what we actually need to get the letter of commencement, council approved plans and so on. There's then an email to the client. Again, you can tweak and edit it, but you get ours out of the box. That sort of just send it to the client to say, hey, we now need these items for the letter of commencement. You've then got an email to the builder introducing yourself to the builder and the items you need from the builder. There's then a delay, and I've got it set for 56 days, but ultimately you're talking about a delay here and then a follow-up task if there's been no progress payment received within 56 days. You might want to make that longer or shorter, but as you know, a lot of lenders have a timeline on when building must commence. So we've got 56 days as a delay, and then a task to follow up, hey, we haven't got that first progress payment request or the letter of commencement just yet. You'll see, and if the deal's already moved on to the next stage, let's say it's already received the progress payment request, that this workflow would cancel and you wouldn't get that follow-up email. So I want to walk you through that really quickly in real time to see how that actually works in practice. So we've moved the deal into letter of commencement on the construction board. A task is curated via workflow, which you saw there, to effectively request from the client the items needed to get the letter of commencement, and it tells you what to do there. You can change that, but effectively you or the team would come into the client portal. So our client portal is called Finance Vault, and Finance Vault we use to collect documents from the client securely. Initially at the application stage, payslips, ID, integrations with Alien and CashDeck, along with tax file number redaction and so on. But we also use it all the way through to issuing pre-approvals, missing information requests, and also getting the documents required for letter of commencement and for progress payments. And what we have, or what you get out of the box, is what we can provide you anyway, is a stack here called construction requirements. And what I would do is I'd add that to the request. So now I'm telling the client, this is what I need. I need the progress payments 1 to 5. I'm going to need building contract of work insurance, public liability insurance, council approved plans, and how you want those final payments, how you want the final payment made, and also building insurance. What's important here is we have the concept of items that are due now and items that are due later. So for example, the building insurance isn't due until completion. So I'll show you how it looks to the client. Let me publish this. Now the client will get a link, and an email will come out and a link, and the link will show the client this, and they can open on their phone or their iPad or whatever. And what you see is we've got the items that are due now, and we've got the items that are due later. So what we're really indicating to the client here is, look, we need building contract insurance now, we need builders liability insurance now, we need council approved plans. Later we're going to need progress payment 1, 2, 3, signed and dated for how do you want the final payment made, and also the building insurance for completion as well. But it'll remind the client at that time. So when you move the deal into completion, it's going to prompt the client, hey, we now need those 2 items. You can see here we've got all the details of public liability insurance and so on, all listed out exactly what we need from the client. So the client can then upload that or take photos or whatever they like. So point here is that firstly we move the deal into the Kanban board, and we can see visually where the client's up to as far as we now need a letter of commencement. Workflow then triggers a task to prompt you to come into the portal and request the documents you need from the client. Once you've done, and you can use stacks, or you can just add in a manual item here if you like, or you can use a template or a document stack. Finally, once you mark this task complete, the workflow then is going to send out an email to the client to say, hey, Mr. Client, here's the portal link, we need a letter of commencement, an email to the builder, and then that wait condition we talked about. So let me just show you those emails now. And so here's an example of the email to the client. Hi Jane, congratulations on securing the land. Of course you can edit the text in the workflow and use whatever mail merge fields you like. And we're just talking about the next step is to get the letter of commencement. And here's the portal link where you can upload those documents that we need from the builder and yourself to get that letter of commencement. And here is, for example, a email to the builder. Hi builder, I'm just assisting with the finance and here's what we need. So that's an example of the workflow and easily sort of being able to request exactly what we need for that particular client at that stage. Obviously, as the deal moves forward, if we go to progress payment 1, it's going to cancel that workflow as we said. So you see that workflow is cancelled, so we won't get that reminder after 56 days. What we do have though is we have a task here for the team to submit the first progress payment. And it's got an exact instructions there for what the team are to do. And once they mark that as complete, there will be an email via workflow come out for the team to forward onto the client and say, hey, or the broker to forward onto the client to say, hey, we've sent that request in and here's a task to follow up to make sure it's been paid in a couple of days' time. And here's the email that we would send to the client potentially, maybe a little bit warmer, but there's an example of the email we'd send to the client to say, hey, I've just submitted that progress payment request, I'll follow up in a couple of days. Once this task is marked complete, because the team have followed up in a couple of days, there'll be another email to update the client again to say, hey, I've just checked that payment's due to be paid in 2 or 3 days, and again I'll follow up then. If it's already been paid, great, then you can just send out the email that's already been paid, and here's the task to make sure it's actually been paid. So you can see you get very granular with the workflow there and have your tasks and your emails and so on come out. Out of the box we provide you with default workflow as I've just shown you there, but you can obviously tweak and edit and change that to match your language, match your style, change the stages, whatever you like to do. So that's how I manage construction payments in my practice, using the Kanban board so I can visually see where it runs up to, using the workflow engine so you can build and tweak and change how you want your workflow to work and what emails you want to come out and text messages and so on, and using the client portal or finance vault to manage the collection of documents from the client and the builder. Any questions on that, anything tweaks your interest, reach out to brokerengine.com.au/demo.